Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power. Today, hunting a carrier. We are operating with two modernized Soviet submarines. This is part of the New Millennium missions, which is again requiring the New Millennium mod, which massively improves these submarines, Soviet assets. These guys are going to be upgraded into the New Millennium. The 90s, that is. I'm not exactly sure why that's a new millennium. I thought that was a new decade. But here we are. We are looking at the K123, which is an Alpha Class 90, capable of running at 48 knots. She now carries the USET 90. This is a 22.2 mile, 52 knots, passive/active sonar homing, wire-guided multi-purpose torpedo. That was a lot of adjectives. This is going to allow her to engage pretty much everything within 22 miles. The K218, slightly different. She's a Victor 390, capable of launching those carrier killer torpedoes, but these are the 65-85, which gives them a range of 40 miles and a top speed of 52 knots. So this is going to be an interesting weapon to use. However, I can only fire two at a time. We are off the coast of Spain over here, and as well Portugal most like. And there is a task force coming in, including submersible contacts. So there's a fairly decent chance that this task force is escorted by a couple of submarines. We don't know how many, we don't know exactly what their ASW capabilities are going to be. We just know that this needs sinking. Now, how am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? I have time. We're running at 5 knots, they're running at 32 knots. They're in a hurry. So they'll be at my position in about an hour. A little bit more. Okay. How am I going to play this? I can start launching those carrier killers, but those are wake homer torpedoes. Actually, no, they're not. They were changed into active/passive sonar homing. Okay, that changes the deal. That makes them a lot more useful. Because that means they don't first have to go look for a wake and then actually engage something. They don't have to turn around and find a wake. Okay, good. What is the best play here? I think we're going to have to split up the subs. Otherwise, I very much risk running into a situation where one of the subs start launching torpedoes. The other also gets sort of counter-detected. Simply by being in the same area. If they're going to start hunting one sub, and especially if they start launching torpedoes at it, the other sub might actually catch one. That's not good. Now, what's the layer? I'm going to layer at 342. We're currently at 360, so we're probably in the shadow zone as well. Given these guys and their high speed, well, not all high speeds. This one's stopped. 0 knots. This one's doing 32. Don't exactly know what it is, but it could be a Tycho. Could even be a Basilone. That'd be interesting. This thing is making a lot of noise. Probably the carrier. Yep. Nimitz, Enterprise, or Nimitz. What we're hunting today is the Eisenhower. That's our objective. So we found her. That's 7001. That's easy. I don't like this submarine here. However, if the Eisenhower keeps running at like, what, 13 to 20 knots, this thing is going to have to take a lot of time and speed, making her detectable, in order to get to me. So I'm not that worried. As for these others, not 100% what they are. Okay, we're going to stay below the layer. I want you to go below. Your layer is 324. We're going to stream the towed array. Not active sonar, thank you very much. That would be a bit much. Split up, get some distance. Yeah, they're classified as hostile C. I could have told you that. Still don't know what that is. Confidence is growing very quickly now. It's just the 218 that has it. Ah, it's a Spruance. Okay, we now know what it is. Good lord. So we got a Tycho, a carrier, another Tycho. Righto. Okay. And we just lost track of everything. Probably because 218 went below the layer. Okay, go above the layer. I'm gonna try and keep detection on them. There we go. Spruans, Kid. Their capabilities regarding anti-submarine warfare, I believe, aren't that good. I mean, yes, they got a hull-mounted sonar with an active range of 18. Seeing as I'm not hearing them, they're not running active sonar. Okay. They also have a towed array, but the AI isn't great about using it, especially as they're sometimes sprinting. Towed array, passive range 24. We got 70 and 18 on that. Okay. There's the Eisenhower. It's unfortunate that the AI, as far as I know, still doesn't launch aircraft, because it would be interesting to have S3 Vikings start dropping sonobuoys. Would definitely make the scenario a lot more challenging. We got a supplier behind at the Sacramento. There's a Perry and another Perry guarding the rear. And most likely that submarine has now moved on to about there. Range. Well, we're not in range yet, but I am going to be in range almost right now to start launching these super heavy torpedoes, the 65s. Yeah, I think I'm gonna send a couple. Just send two, one for the Spruans, one for the Nimitz. Or rather, send them both into the formation. And then run away with my submarine. That's the plan. Because I'm going to be detectable. Ah, hello. Look at that, I was almost right on the money. Okay, let's do it. Because these tubes will take a while to reload. One for Spruans. The other one just goes there. They have a very long run time. So now we're going to go very deep. I'm really hoping I can keep a wire guidance on that second torpedo. Change course. Head east. Increase to a head standard. Need to clear my own launch site so that they don't know where I'm at. So I should still have control over one torpedo. Yes. That's good. The thing is, with going below the layer, I can no longer see/hear where the enemy is at. That's a bit of a problem. Let's get the 1, 2, 3 to go above the layer. Snoop. Hello, gentlemen. Oh, they know about the torpedoes, that's for sure. Run, rabbit, run. Unfortunately, these rabbits are going to outrun my torpedoes now. I launched them too soon. And I wasn't expecting them to get detected this early. Like, 30 miles out? That's impressive. Yeah, I don't think we have enough fuel for that. Tycho, Sacramento, and Nimitz are now lined up. Oh, sorry, Eisenhower. Spruan's just throwing noisemakers. We might still be able to exploit this. If they're throwing noisemakers, like lots and lots of noisemakers, that means that they won't have a whole lot of noisemakers left by the time that I attack again. So it could be good for me. As for what this submarine's doing, that's something I'd like to know. What's the range to the sub? About 30 miles, so we got about, what, 10 miles left? That's never gonna work. That's never gonna work. Okay. Back to head 1/3. Ah, there's the sub. Hold on. Change course. If we can still line up this torpedo with that submarine, that'd be funny. He's doing 20 knots. 6 miles out. I lost control of the torpedo now that I told it to attack. Information. Could be any number of things, we don't know. We are gaining some confidence on it, so we should be able to start eliminating things that it's not. There we go. What are we expecting? Like an LA? Is that possible? No. Sturgeon? Yeah, there we go. LA Flight 1. That could be it. I guess that would make sense for escorting an aircraft carrier battle group. Torpedo rushing in at 50 knots. Submarine seemingly not responding yet. They're still holding their course. They're still holding their speed. There's no way that they don't know about the torpedo, especially with everybody else running away. So, what are you doing? Range, 3 miles. 2 miles. Ideally, this is going to instantly crack the submarine. By my count, I have fuel for like 3 miles or so. That's my estimation. 1.15. Ah! We ran out. Okay, the LA is rapidly changing depth, running at 19 knots. That puts them out of range of both of my submarines for now. I wonder when the Nimitz... There we go. When she's going to turn back. Oh, right about now. Right about now. Where's that sub at? Coming up to periscope depth? They are actually at periscope depth and using a mast? That's interesting. I didn't know they did that. Very interesting. I've never seen them do this. What's that? The scope? Because it's not an ESM mast. But, like, are you seriously expecting to see my submarine on the surface? There we go. Retracting them one mast. Raising... what's that? ESM? Range is still too high. I can't engage this thing yet. So, have you done your inspection? No, he's holding a 35 knots. Sorry, 35 feet. Not 35 knots, 35 feet. Interesting. Nimitz has turned around. Almost on the course due north again. Alright. I think my first order of business should be to eliminate this Los Angeles. Because it'll be just very annoying. It'll hear everything that I'm doing. And that makes it a big problem. I have it on the passive for the 123. Which is impressive. She's almost 30 miles out. I thought alphas weren't supposed to be quiet. I'm considering just going all stop with this submarine here. Just make as quiet as possible. Let that submarine sneak up on me. Well, sneak at 20 knots. And then prepare to launch a torpedo at it. That might be the easiest way to get rid of it. Stop. Let him come in. Those USET 90s that we get have a range of 22 miles. Always keep a margin of error, especially with an LA, which is very fast, doing 33 knots. So, give or take 16 miles. That's when I'd like to engage it. It is on a course 011. Something like that. Alright, so now we wait. I'm now at a bit of a dangerous junction here. I got the 218 about 12 miles away from the LA. The LA is still doing 20 knots, seemingly perfectly oblivious to the fact that there could be a submarine or two hiding out here. The K-123 is about 17 miles away from Nimitz, so maybe I can hit him with the USET 90, but I'm kind of just holding and waiting and biding my time. The question that I now have is, when I launch a torpedo with the 218 against this Los Angeles, they will know. They will hear that. That could spook the whole task force. Once again, forcing them to turn around, change their course, and start torpedo avoidance mode. Which is really what I do not want them to do. If, however, I do nothing, and I let this LA continue on its course, they're gonna pass me very closely. Like, that's 7 miles. by all intents and purposes, it looks like they're not actually streaming a towed array. So they're going to be fairly deaf behind themselves. So that gives me the option to launch a torpedo into their stern. It's not a great option, but it would allow me to get rid of that submarine fairly swiftly. Go deep. So what I want to do right now is nothing. Just kind of sit there and wait. Crap, we lost him. We cannot lose a Los Angeles sub. He's above the layer. There's the problem. Go above the layer. Hello. 10 miles out. We're now 8 miles away from the kid. 7. We're coming in at 25 knots. This would be a great, great opportunity to launch. Because there's no way that I'll run the torpedoes. And they're running so fast that it's unlikely that they'll hear the torpedoes for a while. Okay. We're gonna send it. We're gonna send all 6. At an angle. 6. All torpedo tubes opening. 1 away. 2 away. 3. 4. 5. And 6. Excellent. Torpedoes away. Now I'm sending them due east, well, southeast, so that then I can order an attack from there. If they then start to retaliate, they'll retaliate to the wrong spot. That's the plan. I'm going to be reloading for the next 10 minutes. The 218 is going to hold. Do nothing. Just do nothing for the time being. Kid holding at 25 knots. Spruans, 25 knots. It really sucks that the AI kind of lets you down on this, because normally, of course, you'd have fields and fields and fields of sonobuoys in front. Now they know. Now they know. Let's start assigning some torpedoes here. Nimitz on a course of 009, holding course. Come here. So you know about it. And you just threw a noisemaker out. Unfortunately for you, I think I can keep up with you and overtake you. Head south. See, now if they start to retaliate, especially with the kid's gonna go, huh? There's a torpedo coming from there. The Spruans, however, could find the 1, 2, 3 in a bad situation. Nimitz is changing course. Alright. Let him change course. There's a Mark 46, that's a snapshot. I think that was an ASRock. Like the RUR 5. They got a range of 6 miles, they can't catch me. I'm saying that, but... let's go very deep, just to be sure. Oh, we are at very deep. Okay, hit 1/3. West. There's another Mark 46. Another torpedo in the water. It's nice that these guys are throwing a lot of torpedoes away, but I highly doubt that they'll actually be able to do much. These Mark 46s are traveling at 36 knots. I can run away at 48. So you can't catch me. What I'm still looking for is that sub here. She's changing depth. Let's go below the layer. I wonder what the submarine's up to. There you were. Still doing 20 knots, my god. Get with the program. Get above the layer. I need to get ears on those submarine... well, on those surface skimmers. $700 feet, 600 feet, 500. Come on, get above the layer, give me ears. Here we go. Here we go. This could be a disaster for the US Navy. Absolute disaster. We're gonna go and hit the Nimitz with 2. And if I can eliminate those Ticonderogas, that'd be great. These torpedoes are getting somewhat close. You're locked onto the kid, right? Yeah, the kid's somewhere up there. Go on. Jeez, it's so dark. It's very difficult to see. I will try brightening this in post, so in editing, but it is difficult. Yeah, torpedoes changing depth. Rapidly. I hope they're doing it fast enough. Yeah, I think we'll be able to catch it. 220 feet. 200. That'll probably be the end of you. Yep. You can run, but you can't really hide. It's gonna break the back of the ship. Kid hit. Okay, that's the first. Decoy out. You're a little late there, Chandler, dropping a decoy. A little late. Where's the other escort at? There was something else out here. They had a kid on one side and the Spruance on the other. I cannot hear the Spruance anymore. Interesting. Okay, let's go after the Nimitz. 2 torpedoes. Lock in. Go for the Ticonderoga. And you're gonna go for the... that's the Ticonderoga. And that's the... oh, this is the Yorktown. Arguably, these aren't great threats to the submarines. But they're fantastic targets. So that's why I'm going for them. Torpedo tube status. Ready. Excellent. Come south. As for this LA, it's behaving remarkably stupid. It really has no business running at 20 knots, as it is. It should have slowed down to 5 knots and just listen. Just intently listen and figure out where the torpedoes came from. Potentially do a snapshot with a Mark 48 back under the general direction. But that's apparently not what Dallas over here is doing. So then, Dallas is going to get torpedoed. Bart Mancuso's boat. Ah! There you are. There you are. I was wondering where you were at. Range on the torpedo versus Nimitz, 1.5 miles. And these torpedoes are ridiculously deadly with their range. Looks like Kidd is gonna not go anywhere for a while. Although they can repair their engines, to be sure. 0.4 miles. Poor Yorktown. Poor Yorktown. And hit. Good hit. That apparently immediately destroyed the Ticonderoga. Sorry, Yorktown. Where are you going? I'm surprised the Yorktown immediately blew up, but the Kidd survived. That's surprising. Alright, get dialed in on that Spruance. This LA is now slowing down. Finally. Come on, dude, fight me. At least make it look like you're trying. If they snapshot back along this course, they're definitely going to find the 218. 555. Oh, the torpedo's above the layer. They might not know that there's a torpedo yet. Oh. They're hiding below the layer. Yeah, unfortunately. I don't think that's quite gonna cut it. Torpedo versus Nimitz is about to arrive. Oh, sorry, the Eisenhower. Are you zigzagging? To what end? You can't outrun this. Hit. Nimitz is slowing down. That's excellent. That'll allow my second torpedo to catch up. It really feels like kicking puppies here. I mean, the AI is not harmless, but without sonobuoys from helicopters, without sonobuoys from S3 Vikings, they're not that big of a deal. I can kind of torpedo these guys at my leisure. And especially this LA has absolutely no business doing what it is, well, not doing. Torpedo's gone active. The LA now knows, oh, there's something going on. Really, dude. Maybe you should have figured that out a while ago. I'm really surprised this thing isn't dead. It's restored propulsion. Okay. Another torpedo, please. Depth, 300 feet. The LA is at... The LA is coming up? What the hell are you doing? Why are you coming up if you know that the torpedo's up there as well? Range to the Ticonderoga is 1.2 miles. Spruance is getting chased. Spruance is probably going to get hit first. Although this torpedo against the LA... No, it won't outrun its... They'll probably get pretty closely hit to each other. Changing depth. 300 feet. Passing 320. Passing 330. Now, in case you're going, yeah, this is all great and everything, but you're using mods. I am using mods. Could you get the same outcome if you just gave me an Alpha and a Victor 3? Yeah, I think I could do the same thing. Because the AI simply doesn't use their, well, their equipment, their resources, in the ways that they should. And I'm really hoping that that's going to get fixed. How is this aircraft carrier? Looking a little down by the stern. The radars are still functional. Oh crap, somebody snapshotted a torpedo back at me. Alright, let's floor it. Let's do what we can do best with this Alpha. We run away at 48 knots. Ooh, we are doing 45. You're pretty quick. Ah, the kid launched an ASRock at me, didn't they? You got that capability, correct? Yeah, RUR 5. Bastard. Speed, 41 knots. 42. 43. I'm still changing course as well. 45 on the torpedo. The torpedo is at 700 feet and looking to get me. Speed, 47 knots. Good luck, you can't catch me. You can't catch me. Spruance? I'm hearing a helo. Yeah. Well, well, well. Better late than never. Okay, so what's the score so far? 1 eliminated cruiser. The enemy submarine has been sunk. Okay, 1 eliminated submarine. That's nice. Nimitz is probably, or rather, Eisenhower's probably going to restore propulsion. We have The Ticonderoga here, which has not been hit, I think. Maybe the torpedo ran out. And then we got a parry behind there. Not that spectacular. It had 1/3. I think we have outrun that torpedo, but I'm kind of worried to slow down and have a look. So we're going to maintain this course for a little while longer. And once we're through, we're going to change course again. I'm hoping that this USED can actually eliminate the kit this time around. Unfortunately, I can't control the torpedo anymore because at 48 knots, it's a little difficult to keep the wires attached to the torpedoes. Yeah, torpedo's gone search mode. Normally, the kid could run away, but having already taken a torpedo, she's not that likely to be able to do that. 1/3, 5 knots. Not picking up any torpedoes presently. Oh, come on, dude. You gotta go find it. 7058 classified hostile torpedo. Which... This was 7058. Okay, you're not that big of a deal. You're not that big of a deal. Okay. Let's send a torpedo after Nimitz. One after Ticonderoga. That parry is actually too far away. I'm going to maintain control over these torpedoes. And kind of manually talk them into their targets. Let's have you go... Are you above the layer? No. Yes, you're below the layer. Okay, fine. Increase to a head standard. Especially with our submarine dead. They're not going to be that capable of detecting me. Not as much as they used to. Yeah, right. Now, regarding stealth, this is not the best option, because I'm launching torpedoes directly at the enemy, as opposed to, for example, arcing them around and having a snapshot not come back to meet me. So, it's not the best way to go about it, but seeing as the threat has mostly passed, and that's mostly the Kid going down, the Tycho, well, the Yorktown going down, and especially the LA going down, I'm not that worried about the American capabilities right now. Yeah, they're trying to run away at 8 knots. Sorry, gentlemen. That is no longer an option. Torpedo has acquired. Noisemaker out. That's not going to cut it. Because I got your hull. Second torpedo hit on the Kid. Excellent. Now, let's dial this one in on Nimitz. Because both of my submarines are now below the layer, I can't exactly hear much. Got Spruan still running away at 32 knots. She's not that big of a problem right now. In fact, I can use this as an opportunity to close the distance to the rest of the fleet. I don't care about that one Spruans. The only thing I care about from the Spruans is their helicopter. That's the danger. I need you to go above the layer, so we can talk the torpedoes into their targets. I think Nimitz got hit. Eisenhower, yep. That's 3 torpedoes on that carrier. She's lost propulsion again. Come on, get above the layer. I think we need a 4th. Oh, it's busy here. It is busy here. I suppose you are the aircraft carrier. Because I would... Well, that could be it. No, that's doing 12 knots. The aircraft carrier is definitely not capable of doing 12 knots in her wounded condition. So that is most likely the other cruiser, Ticonderoga. Yeah, Spruan's just fleeing to Spain/Portugal. Not sure where they'll end up. Kid's been eliminated. Yeah, she's doing 16 knots, whatever she is. I doubt it's an Earlyberg. That has very much the looks of a Ticonderoga. Yep. And there's the carrier right next to her. Hit. Beautiful hit amidships. It looks like their superstructure is intact. For now. It's getting a bit messy here. It's getting a bit difficult to hear. What do we still have to worry about? The Perrys? I mean, why on earth would you just throw a Mark 46 there? There's the other Perry. Okay, increase to 2/3. Go to 10 knots. I'm gonna close the distance a bit faster. That's Bruins is 15 miles out and improving, well, getting away from me. That's fine. Go below the layer. Increase to a head standard. Well, I had full rather. Let's push in there and finish the job. Current speed, 20 knots. This means I'm going to be kind of deaf, but that's fine. Ooh, you're in a pretty bad state, aren't you? I think she might burn up. Even if she doesn't, she's not that likely to be that big of a threat anymore. She simply can't be. 7063, I'm assuming that's Nimitz. She's 1 mile out. Sorry, Eisenhower, I keep confusing them. Yeah. Probably not a great angle for the flight deck to be at. Change course. These things don't have the endurance to get to me. There you go. There we go. Ticonderoga eliminated. Nimitz after 3 torpedo. Ooh, you got propulsion again. Ugh, fine. 2 more. Just send it. Time for you to go back to 5 knots above the layer. You're the spotter, you're the shooter. Well, I mean, you're also above the layer, so it's fine. I had 1/3. These Perrys are coming in. The Wadsworth and the McCluskey. Lock on Nimitz. Well, they've still got capabilities of throwing noisemakers. Unfortunately, my torpedoes don't really care about that. Decoy out. Hit! At this point, it looks like the hangar is properly underwater. Second torpedo. Go on. Hit. Once again, we've eliminated the propulsion. What I'm surprised about is there's no fire. Normally, they would burn. But somehow, they don't. Okay, give me 1 torpedo here, 1 torpedo there, 1 torpedo here. The Perry has detected that torpedo launch. Do we really need to hit you again, dude? What the hell? They still have propulsion? This is getting a bit bizarre. The amount of damage that this thing has been able to take. and tank is very impressive. Where's that Spruance running off? Coward. Yeah, right. Another hit. At this point, the stern with the flight deck's almost underwater. You're running at 20 knots. I think we should be able to catch those parries. Go. Lock them in. The super carrier is sinking. Excellent. Nimitz has finally... well, Eisenhower's finally had enough. There she goes. That took me a while, but we got it done. Now, at this point, it's basically cleaning up the survivors. Let's send one more torpedo after Sacramento. The K-123 has definitely been busy. She's done a lot of work for me. As for K-218, she killed the submarine. And I think that's about the entirety of her contribution to the battle. Well, no, not really. Because she also was instrumental in detecting things. Where are you even going? Yep, they threw more Mark 46s back at me, a snapshot. I don't think they got the range for that. That's 18 miles, you can't hit that far. Berries have a Mark 46 with a range of 8 miles. They can't touch me. Did we hit him? Yeah, we hit the McCluskey. And that's the end of the McCluskey. Lock on Sacramento, and you're going to hit the Wadsworth. And I think after that we can call it done. Because I don't really need to chase that Spruance down. It's not part of the mission anymore. They're too far away. Not my concern. 2.3 miles. Doing 29 knots. You're doing 26. Which I think for a fleet oiler is very impressive. A fleet Auks. Wait a second. Did the parry outrun the torpedo? Because they were not hit. The Wadsworth. Interesting. Okay. Then we need to send another torpedo from our Alpha 90. Yep, sorry Sacramento, but you're a valid target. Hit. They're coming in at 20 knots? 29 knots even. Sacramento going down by the stern, on fire. I don't get why this ship catches on fire and something as flammable as an aircraft carrier does not. I don't quite get that. Secondary explosion. I don't think Sacramento's gonna live through that. I could give the kill to the 218. New passive contact 7094. This one. Probably a merchant. Yeah. If that was a warship, that would probably have gotten... Oh, come on. Surprise. Still got more torpedoes here. I don't believe it was the decoy that actually got me. Like the tote decoy array. Mark 46, snapshot, 3 torpedoes. I don't think that'll work. Because I'm not there. Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot there, sir. Yeah, you're running as quickly as you can, but there's no way. Boom. Yeah, that was a good hit. That was a good hit. Now, let's clean up Sacramento and call it a day. Look at all those Mark 46s. The other Perry has already gone down. And Wadsworth is also sinking. A couple of Soviet submarines on the loose. It was definitely made easier by the fact that these things now have torpedoes ranging out to 22 miles. Otherwise, it would have been a little bit more difficult, but not impossible. Not impossible. Hit. Come on, then. How are these guys so good at repairing their propulsion? That's the second torpedo Sacramento ate, and once again they're maneuverable. I don't get it. I think this Bruins AI has kind of lost the plot and doesn't really know what to do anymore. I mean, it makes sense. There's not that much for them to do. They even turned their radars off. Like, that'll stop me from detecting you. Not really, dude. Sacramento. Down by the stern, otherwise fine. Torpedo, let's hit him on the bow, shall we? Right on the bows. 0.7. 0.6. 0.4. They're changing over to starboard a bit. Hit. Come on, Sacramento. Go down. It's good enough. You fought a good fight. Well. You tried to defend yourself. Ish. But there's just no way that you're going to be outrunning or surviving all of these ships. Well, what the fuck? This is getting out of hand. This thing has taken, what, 3 or 4 torpedoes and once again restored propulsion. What the hell? I thought these U-sets were pretty potent, considering the fact that they can nail a cruiser in one hit. I mean, maybe with a secondary explosion, yes, but come on. How are you this capable of surviving? Changing course. It's not gonna cut it. Hit. At this point, I'm not sure how there's still anything left to torpedo. But here we are. Second hit. So that's what, their 5th torpedo? And I'm not actually seeing them sink. What? How? This is getting bizarre. 2 more. This thing is now on par with taking the same amount of torpedoes as an aircraft carrier. And I mean, this thing displaces what, 85,000 tons? 100,000 tons even. Sacramento has a displacement of 53,000 tons. It's not designed as a warship. It's a fleet auxiliary ship. It's a supply vessel. But somehow this thing tanks torpedoes like nobody's business. I should keep that in mind next time I'm using one of these, because I'm going to use it as a torpedo decoy. 2 more hits. Propulsion destroyed. Temporarily. There she goes. Sacramento is down. Alright. Alright. So with that, I think we're done. K218 and K123 have wrecked just basically everything except for one Spruance that decided to run away. The Paul F. Foster will live in infamy. She's the only survivor, but the rest of her formation is not. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Link down below in the description to the scenario plus the required mod. You can see that down there. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and let me know what your thoughts are down below. See you soon for more.